I clearly awakened an SSS level talent ranked in the top 10 of the world leaderboard, but my father beat me for 7 days and 7 nights, and then he kicked me out of the family, even going as far as to expel me from the 7 major martial arts schools, not even sparing the 7 top martial academies. I was also blacklisted, all because of my career choice. Using the hidden talent SSS Heavenly Eye, I saw a glimpse of the future. Not only did I see, in the future a world-ending beast will emerge in China, it was seen that no matter what profession one chooses, death will follow, and it turns out that I myself met my end in the jaws of that beast. That creature is unimaginably powerful. When the time comes, the entire nation of China will fall to this beast, only by choosing no profession, and creating entirely new professions and skills. Can this apocalyptic creature be stopped? However, choosing to have no profession is destined to be a tough path to walk. Although it's possible to create your own skills, only 0.001% of people are capable of achieving it. But the final strength is also the greatest. Besides, I also possess 2 hidden SSS level talents: super comprehension and being the child of fortune. At this moment in the decision square, everyone was stunned by my choice. Why is this happening? Everyone wanted to ask this question, but Lu Ruyan was already one step ahead. Wang Linfeng, is there something wrong with your mind? Why did you choose to have no profession? At that moment, Lu Ruyan showed none of her usual grace and elegance. There was only deep anger. When I activated the SSS level talent, he was already overjoyed inside. He kept shouting like crazy that he hadn't made the wrong choice. These 2.5 years of youth weren't wasted, because she is actually my fiancée. At this moment I stood there frozen in place. It feels like I just realized that I made an irreversible mistake. But this is just what everyone else thinks. Only I know how catastrophic it will be in the future. The only option is to choose no profession, and create new professions and skills, to withstand this apocalyptic move. Just then, the homeroom teacher Chun Ru looked toward the awakening. The top-ranked Lu Ruyan was deeply heartbroken. Lu Ruyan, will you still team up with Wang Mingfeng despite your heartbreak after the college entrance exam? At this moment Lu Ruyan remained silent. Wang Tong, who was nearby, stepped in to speak. Who would want to team up with an idiot? Aren't you afraid of being dragged down by his stupidity? And Wang Tang happened to be my companion. He was also my cousin. I had thought I had awakened an SS level talent. He might end up living with this shadow his entire life, and the family will definitely side with me. I never thought I would bring this upon myself. I chose to have no profession. Wang Linfeng, the engagement between you and Lu Ruyan should be annulled as well. With that said, Wang Tang seized the moment, and immediately helped Lu Ruyan end the engagement. At that moment everyone turned their attention to me, wanting to see how I would react. Everyone expects me to be entangled endlessly, looking pitiful and helpless. Since I've already been kicked out of the Wang family, I definitely wouldn't want to lose Lu Ruyan, such a powerful partner. I would surely cling on relentlessly, but in the end it was Lu Ruyan who agreed to annul the marriage agreement. As for whether you agree or not, that's entirely up to you. She was as decisive as if she was shaking off a clinging bothersome adhesive. This made everyone really upset, especially Lu Ruyan. How could this happen? Why would he agree to that? Haha, that's so typical of you. As expected, you picked the wrong answer again. Wang Tang's laughter made it clear. Maybe it's because I just chose no profession. So what does this even matter? At that moment I laughed too, and what I said next left everyone completely stunned. Wang Tang, you originally had the power of the earth, but you lost your innocence, and now your talent is ruined. What did you just say? Wang Tang didn't even step forward to awaken his talent. How can you say he's useless? I know you're just projecting your own failure, and then cursing others. That's just ridiculous. No one would believe it either. I can really predict it accurately. Haha, my talent is completely useless. Even if I get an F-level talent, choosing the weakest profession would still make me stronger than you. Wang Tang let out a mocking laugh, then took a few steps forward, turned back and said, besides, even at my worst, I wouldn't fall below AB grade. My physical test result is an A grade. The mental test placed me at AB grade. My combat test also ranked at the first level. I even have the potential to aim for an S grade talent. Right after stepping forward, Wang Tang placed his hand on the awakening monument. A strong golden light radiated from the awakening monument. An S-grade talent, the Pure Yang Sacred Body. All monk abilities are boosted by 20%. Available classes include Monk, Warrior, Assassin, Mage. At this moment everyone gasped again. The Wang family shouted to choose Monk. This talent is connected to the class. Don't choose Monk. If you follow the Monk path, it would be a waste. Wang Tang was seen choosing Monk. He took the chance to boost his reputation as well. Said a few words to win people's hearts. There's no need for everyone to worry. I will definitely choose the monk. I want to protect everyone. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. At that moment, one of Wang Tang's followers immediately started to tease Lu Ruyan. Why not just get engaged to Wang Tang? That way both families wouldn't need to change in-laws. Well, this is truly something. From now on we're all part of one big family. It's just that my wife became my sister-in-law. Amidst all this hype, honestly everyone is really looking forward to it. We can already witness this grand drama. Otherwise how could it be satisfying? Wang Tang feels the same way. He just wants to humiliate me on the spot and crush me underfoot. Actually Ruyan, I've always liked you. Let's team up and prepare for the college entrance exams together. Get into one of the 7 major martial arts schools in China. Yeah, let's do it together. Lu Ruyan didn't hesitate any longer. She nodded and agreed right away. Right after that, Wang Tang boldly looked at me, showing an arrogant and smug expression. However, he still didn't see me losing my cool or getting angry. At that moment, I started laughing again. This made Wang Tang's face turn really dark. What are you laughing at? Do you really dislike Ruyan? Since you were the one who chose to call off the engagement, you should have the decency to give your blessings. I never realized you could be so petty. Wishing you two the best. What you think you two will split up soon? Haha, you're just jealous. Someone just said that Tang Xiao's talent is already wasted, so being S-level is now considered useless, huh? Seeing that I smiled calmly. Maybe you should try to understand first. What exactly is the Pure Yang Sacred Body? This Pure Yang Sacred Body talent seems like something I've never seen before. Go check the talent records in the professional system. Find this specific talent. And in the next moment, everyone was looking at Wang Tang with a somewhat unusual expression. The Pure Yang Holy Physique is in a crimson state. The effects of the monk's skills are boosted by 100%. The effects from the afterlife are reduced by 50%. Each death lowers the purity of the Pure Yang Holy Physique. Abstinence can restore up to 50% through diligent cultivation. During the recovery phase, abstinence must be maintained. Otherwise all previous efforts will be wasted. At 100% it can be comparable to SS rank. A range of 40% to 50% qualifies as S rank. 25 to 39% is categorized as grade A. 10 to 24% falls under grade B. It is currently categorized as grade B. I was wondering why the talent bonus for grade S is so low. How is Wang Tang already able to break from 50% down to 20% at such a young age? So it turns out he spends his nights partying and enjoying himself. It's unfortunate that recovering just 1% takes 30 years. Doesn't that mean Lu Ruyan will have to live like a widow for 30 years? No wonder Wang Linfeng said the two of them would drift apart. The discussions among the crowd ebbed and flowed. The excitement and anticipation for Wang Tang just vanished. At this moment Wang Tang felt like he had been doused with ice-cold water. Dropping from an S rank to AB rank felt like a huge fall. It was like going from being Mount Tai to just another hill. Meanwhile, the expressions on the Wang family members' faces couldn't be darker. Originally, the Wang family should have had 2 prodigies destined for greatness. Now one chose no profession, and the other had talent but lost their potential. Today the Wang family is bound to become a laughingstock. Staying here would only be embarrassing, so they all left. The Lu family and Lu Ruyan were left in an awkward situation. What is this supposed to be? Just got out of one trap, and now it's another one. The still present Wang Tang shouted at me in anger. Wang Linfeng, you, what are you so proud of? Even if I'm just a B level now, their talent is also far superior to yours. I still have a chance to return to the S level, but you will always be useless. You won't even have anyone willing to partner with you. After he finished speaking, Wang Tang was then pushed into a luxury car by his father. And the last thing Wang Tang said was actually meant for the others to hear. If someone teams up with me, it would mean going against him. I calmly said, don't worry about it. My partner will show up very soon, and they're way stronger than all of you. Right at that moment, a small and skinny male classmate stepped forward. That Feng Xiao guy, how about teaming up? I'll join as long as you don't mind. I'm just an F-level nobody. At that moment everyone was a bit surprised. This kid Xiaohei has always been a loner. How could he dare to offend Wang Tang? Right after I glanced at Xiaohei, and said seriously that I find you annoying. If you sincerely want to team up with me, I'd welcome it, but you're not the one. At this moment everyone looked at me, thinking there's truly no hope for me, still being picky at a time like this. Are you out of your mind? The little guy froze for a moment. He clearly didn't expect me to refuse so bluntly. He was genuinely puzzled. How could Wang Linfeng possibly know about this? He had just come here following Wang Tang's instructions. Wang Tang wanted to use the little guy, someone who was only at the F level, to try and humiliate me. But my refusal immediately caused the people on the scene to start criticizing me. You could sum up Wang Linfeng as someone with ambition as high as the sky, but a fate as fragile as paper. I couldn't be bothered to explain this. I was simply waiting for my partner to show up. I believe it will happen. And not just one partner. The next moment a stunning figure appeared. Wang Linfeng, classmate, can I team up with you? How could it be him? Why would he look for Wang Linfeng? This can't be true. Huangfu Haitang. The rare surname like Huangfu Haitang, to be passed down, it usually has to have a powerful and influential family. But his father's generation was expelled from the family. On top of that, his parents suffered consecutive injuries and illnesses. Life has become nearly unbearable, and he awakened a unique talent. Swordsmanship feels like a useless skill. Seeing this, I simply nodded with a smile. This is exactly what I was waiting for, Huangfu Hating, because only I truly understand how incredibly powerful swordsmanship can be. And after seeing me agree, everyone froze for a moment. Then they started laughing. Haha, someone with no profession, and someone relying on swordsmanship. You two losers actually make a great pair. At least you won't drag anyone else down. Are you two seriously doing this? You better think this through carefully. If you two leave the city, you probably won't last more than 3 days. And now you're planning to survive in the wild for 3 months. Even though there are shelters outside, they are still very dangerous. Chen Ru showed up once again, seriously spoke to me. Can I join you guys? When the time comes we can die together. At least there will be someone with me. At this moment a frail-looking girl stepped forward. She nervously said, "Sure." I nodded right away. Didn't even bother asking about her abilities. Turns out she never planned on surviving. Giving up seemed to be what everyone thought. Are we still waiting? Huangfu Haitang asked. She now suspected she might have made the wrong bet again. But since things have already turned out this way, teaming up is better than going solo. No need, they're already here. What I said made the two women think I couldn't wait any longer. But what followed made them understand that wasn't the case. Then another frail girl appeared, even thinner than the one just now. The clothes are even a bit worn out. Doesn't seem like someone from Linhai High School. Great, you guys are still here. Can I join? Sure, now we're all set. We'll leave the city at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure to bring your stuff. I nodded right away, started exchanging contact information, set the time and then left. After leaving school, I simply went to the hospital where my mother Xia Bingbing was located. At the hospital, seeing Xia Bingbing's pale and frail face, I immediately used my heavenly eye to glimpse some of her future. After that, she saw many shadowy figures appear in front of her. Xingqing told me, "How you handle your matters is up to you." Unemployed, Xia Bingbing immediately expressed concern when she saw me. Mom trusts me. I will become the strongest man on earth. I will also help you recover from your illness. Gu Qingqing is my neighbor. The little girl is 10 years old this year. She was adopted as a goddaughter by Xia Bingbing. She occasionally visits the hospital. Right now there are 2 problems that need to be solved. The first one is my mother's medical expenses. Xia Bingbing is likely to face a crisis soon. The money spent feels like it's being swallowed endlessly. It's best to earn another 1 million within 3 months, and also gather some materials to create a type of potion. The second issue is about finding a dog. I need to test if I can learn a skill. Starting with the beast taming skill might be a good idea. Not aiming for anything like beast summoning. Even training hunting dogs is fine. Wang Mingfeng. I didn't expect to run into someone I know at the hospital. And this acquaintance is no one else. It's my own teammate, Huangfu Tsuehua. Huangfu, classmate. What are you doing here too? Oh, your mom is here too. I immediately thought of it. I had heard earlier that Huangfu Haitong's mother was also sick. I didn't expect to run into her right here. And she's even in the same ward. I've already seen Huangfu Haitong's mother. She's right next to Xia Bingbing's bed. Both of them were clearly surprised. Their kids turned out to be classmates. So the two mothers quickly started chatting. They began talking about their kids' past stories, leaving the two of us standing aside and ignored, especially Huaifu Haitang. It was quite awkward. It's better not to treat your mother's illness. At that moment I suddenly spoke to Huaifu Haitang. The voice was rather loud. At the same time, I glanced at the group of people who had just entered the ward. Leading them was an elderly doctor. He carried an air of sanctity, surrounded by a group of doctors and nurses. Hearing what I said, they all seemed a bit confused. Huang Fu Haitan's expression instantly changed. He gave me a cold, piercing look. It was obvious. He thought I was asking him to give up on his mother. My business is none of your concern. Hearing his words filled with anger, how could I not realize that he misunderstood me? So I explained myself. What I mean to say, your mother originally wasn't sick. Her illness was actually caused by the hospital's treatment. The more you treat her here, the worse her condition gets. I glanced unintentionally at the group of elderly doctors behind. Someone like Huang Fu Haitang froze for a moment, trying hard to analyze what I said. These words are truly worth pondering. Are you accusing us of being incompetent doctors? The old doctor glared with wide-open eyes. He looked at me angrily. We are not incompetent doctors. Only someone highly skilled could achieve this level. I shook my head with determination. I looked very serious. This made the people nearby feel uneasy. You're basically calling the monk a bald-headed fool. Are you saying this is something I deliberately treated to happen? The old doctor's face looked rather unpleasant. The people around him immediately exuded a strong aura. These individuals were not particularly weak in strength. All of them had reached the second-class transfer. It might not have been you, but it was someone from your hospital. You should thoroughly investigate this matter. Pay special attention to a woman in her 40s. She is likely someone with a priest profession. However, she has the ability to use disease-related skills. Her most noticeable feature is her chubby face and large ears. When I was talking about the earlier part, everyone was still wondering who I was referring to. But as soon as they heard the last 4 words, they immediately thought of one person. It was Dr. Dong. After everyone exclaimed in surprise, they all looked at each other in disbelief. It couldn't possibly be Dr. Dong. Back when we were going through such tough times, it was Dr. Dong who stepped in to help us. He often checks in on us. He provides us with assistance. At that moment, the mother and daughter immediately shook their heads in disagreement. In their eyes, Dr. Dong was a benefactor. At that moment, Haitang was also skeptical of what I said. She even questioned me, asking what exactly my intentions were, and why I was trying to frame Dr. Dong. It was at this point that the elderly doctor glared at me angrily and said that if you keep talking nonsense, you might want to find someone more skilled for your mother's illness. If you can't treat my mother's illness, then I'll leave it to you. Come back in 3 months. My words left everyone present a little stunned. Are you trying too hard to show off? Just as the old doctor was about to lose his temper, a disciple next to him whispered something in his ear. This made his expression change slightly. He glanced at me, then a glow appeared in his hand. It enveloped the body of Haitang's mother. His brows furrowed deeper and deeper. They moved the person to the operating room. Doctor, what's wrong with my mother? This made Haitang incredibly nervous. At this moment, anyone would think others had noticed the condition. And at this point, the elderly doctor remained silent. He simply glanced at me, then hurriedly left. Huang Fu Haitang naturally followed and left as well. And now I've already been kicked out by the Wang family, so I might as well make do here for now. Leaving at dawn to meet up with my teammates and head out. Time passed quickly. Around 2 a.m., Haitang and her mother came back. At this moment, Haitang's mother looked much healthier than before. After tending to her mother, Haitang glanced at me and saw me meditating and resting, so she sat down nearby to meditate as well. At 5 in the morning, I exhaled deeply and immediately felt refreshed and energized. I got ready to leave, planning to head out and find a stray dog on the street. But just at that moment, the soft and slightly shy voice of Haitang could be heard. Wang Linfeng, so early in the morning. Where did you hear that? Judging by his tone, it seemed more like he wanted to be friendly with me, rather than scolding me. I'm going to catch a dog to use as a hunting dog. Having more dogs means more strength in battle. You don't have to thank me, it was just a small effort. I waved my hand and simply walked away. Feeling a bit puzzled, Haitang stood there. What the heck? How do you already know what I'm going to say? He quickly ran after him. Where did he go? How did he disappear so fast? Huang Fu and Haitang ran outside, but they couldn't see me anymore. At that moment, I just followed my instincts and kept walking. I ended up under the bridge near the hospital, and there I found a pile of grass with a litter of puppies hiding inside. It's like having everything you could possibly want. There's even a litter of puppies here, and they're all completely black. Since I'm raising dogs to improve my skills, and if the number is slightly higher, does that mean the skills will increase more? Let's start practicing first. So I went straight to dog training. planning to spend some time understanding the skills. For this purpose, I also got some snacks like ham sausages. They're just for assisting with training. I'm planning to train here slowly for 3 hours, then I'll head to school to meet up. I don't really expect to master the beast taming skill in just these 2 hours. I'll keep it with me and use it consistently. A 0.001% chance. Isn't that just using it 100,000 times? You can use it 10,000 times every other day. 1 hour later, the dog could already follow some basic commands. 2.5 hours later, Ding mastered the art of dog training. Dog training skill LV. Capable of training dogs for personal use and teaching dogs to understand simple commands. No additional bonuses. Unexpectedly, it only took 2.5 hours to learn the skill. At this moment, I was genuinely surprised. I thought it would take at least a few days, even with good luck, to learn this. If luck wasn't on my side, it could take 10 days, half a month, or even longer. But now it only took 2.5 hours. Could it be because of the hidden talent called Child of Fortune? Before long, I realized how terrifying the talent of super comprehension truly is. I had just begun to grasp the basics of dog training, but after casually practicing a few times, the skill proficiency skyrocketed. In just a short half hour on the road, the dog training skill has been upgraded from LV1 to LV8. The skill description remains unchanged, but he noticed that giving commands has become much easier, and judging from the dog's cooperation, it seems to have become a lot more mature. If you raise this dog a little bigger, it would be relatively easy to hunt some low-level beasts. It's still fairly simple. Linhai High School. Today marks the first day after the senior students awakened. Many high school seniors return to school to collect wristbands. The wristband functions as a recording device. It keeps track of the beasts you've defeated. Some beasts are worth more points than others. Points are not just part of the college entrance exam. They also represent your contribution to the city. You can exchange points for certain items. The wristband serves another purpose. It lets you know whether you are alive or not. In emergencies, it can be used to call for help. If I were to die, it could also be used to collect the body. At this moment, Wang Tang and Lu Ruyan appeared, instantly drawing everyone's attention. Even though Wang Tang no longer has his status as a virgin, he still remains very promising. Among the senior students at Linhai High School this year, he is also one of the standouts. Wang Tang is thoroughly enjoying this feeling. This was meant to be mine all along. Wang Linfeng, that despicable person, was never worthy. But in the next moment I showed up. I instantly stole all the attention from him. It wasn't for any other reason. It was simply because I was walking in the front. Behind me were 8 little puppies strutting confidently, marching proudly in a neat line behind me, taking small steps along the way, forming a perfectly straight row, and the spacing between the puppies was meticulously uniform. Oh wow, isn't that Wang Linfeng the useless guy? Why is there a group of little dogs following behind him? Are you using these lackeys to make up for the absence of real ones? Here comes Wang Linfeng, and he's brought along his 8 dogs. He's walking ahead, while the dogs follow behind him in a line. At that moment I didn't pay attention to any of this. I just kept walking toward the playground, where the staff handling wristband registration were located. Arriving at the location, I tapped my phone against the wristband. The data instantly appeared on my phone. I started filling out the information. Then the staff reviewed it to ensure there were no errors. The wristband was activated. After putting it on, some tiny needles appeared on the wristband. These needles pricked into my skin. It then collected my personal data. The blood also connects the bracelet to the human nervous system. Then the bracelet seems to become part of the body. It integrates seamlessly with the skin. There's absolutely no sense of discomfort. No one worries that there could be any issues with it, because almost everyone around the world wears this type of bracelet. It's something you basically wear for a lifetime. This bracelet can track body data. At the same time, it acts as an assistant, offering various smart bracelet features. It has even more features than Wang Linfeng's phone from his previous life. Once you have this, you don't even need to carry a phone. After all, when you're out in the wild, a phone can just be a burden. This wristband is mainly designed to work with the profession system. It's essentially an add-on tool. With this wristband, you can even send internal text messages and look up information on alien beasts, features like recording exotic creatures and more. At this moment, Wang Linfeng transferred the data from his phone to the wristband. A dialog box quickly appeared in front of him, just like a virtual projection in the air. You all saw Wang Linfeng, right? This is absolutely hilarious. I saw that he applied for the college entrance exam. It seems like he's really not giving up. He actually went and signed up. What about those 3 useless guys following him? They all signed up. They said since they're going to die anyway, might as well aim higher. They even signed up for the 7 major martial arts schools. If it were me, I'd do the same. Their team never planned on coming back. It's so pitiful. This is the school group chat. Even the class group chat has been buzzing. Wang Tang's lackeys are mocking our team like crazy. Meanwhile, the teammates also suggested that Wang Linfen's group leave early by car. The school still arranged buses to take people out of the city. They were sent to a shelter outside. What happened to Wang Linfeng yesterday? Thank you, Huang Fu hating. At this moment she was wearing a tight dark gray combat uniform, which accentuated her figure. No wonder she has a first-class figure, or maybe even a second-class one. The 2 teammates next to him were also wearing the same combat uniform. This is something everyone has. Every year senior high school students leave the city for training. It is said to be issued by the city lord's mansion. The appearance of this combat uniform somewhat resembles leather. It is made of extremely tough fibers. It can withstand a certain level of attack. At the same time, it does not hinder movement. Besides the combat uniform, the city lord's mansion also provides weapons. I picked a shield and a sword. I also grabbed a gun while I was at it. A handgun to be specific. At the same time, everyone can carry 3 high-explosive bombs. Of course, these are provided for free by the city lord's mansion. You can bring as many as you want on your own. However, these items are only useful in the early stages. When facing beasts over level 10, pure bullets and high-explosive bombs won't be effective. They also require the power of a class changer to be infused. Only then can damage be inflicted. At that moment I glanced at my teammate who was also wearing a tight-fitting outfit. Lu Shan-yun is even weaker. The person is thin but Lemon's petite frame surprisingly has the potential of an F level. It's really hard to believe. I also changed into a tight-fitting outfit. It immediately showcased her slender figure, with just a hint of muscle tone, perfectly proportioned, has a sense of beauty. No need to thank me for going out into the wild to train. We still need to look out for each other. Just take care of me a little more, I said to Hai Tang. Then I got ready to get in the car, but someone blocked the way. The one stopping Wang Linfeng was no one else. It was Wang Tang and his lackeys, nicknamed Wang Ergo. The proof is unclear. Wang Ningfeng, do you think this is just any place? Even if we let you ride in the same car with us, why did you bring your dog alone? Wang Ergo was already planning to make things difficult for me, showing loyalty. Seeing me bring the dog onto the car, he immediately used it as an excuse to stir things up. They are my battle companions. I said I was aware of the global agreement. Battle pets can always accompany their owners wherever they go. At this moment, through the car window, I also saw a white snake coiled up on the table. This is also a battle pet. Haha, you without any profession. Where did you even get a battle pet? Do you even have the skill? And can these little dogs of yours even fight? Wang Ergu immediately laughed. Never heard of someone without a profession having a battle pet. Those battle pets are exclusive to pet-related classes. I haven't heard about any basic skills. It is possible to control battle pets. Ergu, don't say it like that. That person has an SSS level talent. Even though they are classless, they can still create their own skills. Maybe they'll come up with something just like that. At this moment another lackey named Li Chang spoke up, adding a touch of humor to his words. He made all his classmates and himself laugh. Nobody believed it. I could master any skill in such a short time. If that's the case, then even without a profession you wouldn't be seen as useless. Being without a profession simply means lacking significant skills. That's why they're often labeled as useless. They have very few basic skills, like basic defense techniques, and basic attack techniques, basic meditation techniques, only a handful of basic movement skills. The bonus effects of these skills are minimal. Basic offensive techniques and basic swordsmanship, compared to basic boxing techniques, the attack bonus is less than half, and the latter refers to the foundational skills for transitioning to other professions. When they swing a sword or throw a punch, additional attack bonuses are automatically applied. Mastering new active skills isn't included. No wonder the jobless class gets looked down on like this. But I have an SSS level super intuition. Early on these basic skills level up quickly. The effects naturally catch up. Since that's the case, how about we have a match? I'll fight you with just 8 little dogs. If you lose, hand over the skills you have. I gave a slight smile. Looking at Wang Ergu, he said. At this moment Wang Ergu was stunned. How do you know I have a skill book on me? Are you kidding me? Just these 8 puppies and you think they can beat me? I have at least a D-level talent. I've been training since I was a kid as a senior high school student. 12 years of mandatory training. You think I would lose to 8 puppies? This is downright insulting. What are you scared? My words instantly made Wang Ergo lose his temper. What's being streamed in the group? Is Wang Ergo fighting with a puppy? Oh wow, is this a performance of dogs fighting each other? Soon a live stream appeared in the Linhai High School group. Watching a live stream of Wang Ergo taking on 8 puppies. At this moment the 8 puppies looked adorably fierce. I can't take it, why are they so cute? Someday I'll get myself a puppy too. A group of girls started sharing similar opinions. They didn't care at all about what Wang Ergo was up to. However, someone quickly explained the situation, letting everyone understand. It turned out that Wang Ergo and I had a conflict. I had 8 little dogs attack Wang Ergo. Everyone who learned about it thought I was either crazy, or that I didn't care about those dogs. At that moment he angrily pulled out a short sword, while gathering a fireball in his other hand. A fireball came crashing down on those dogs, but the dogs seemed to predict what was going to happen. They knew exactly where it would strike. The nearby dogs had already scattered. Forget about whether it was a coincidence. Take one down first. Wang Ergo swung his sword directly at it. At the beginning the fireball spell was actually less effective than simple slashing, because the fireball spell required time to charge up, so being a melee mage isn't actually a real thing. If not for this being pure disdain, it's likely Wang Ergo would have pulled out his gun, and when he swung his weapon, that dog seemed to have anticipated his attack, scattering in all directions, then suddenly launching an attack and biting down. On Wang Ergo's foot, there were already several small black furballs attached. The dog had bitten onto his foot, because they were wearing battle suits, plus everyone had been training for 12 years. It wasn't actually very painful. Wang Ergo wanted to shake them off immediately, but at that moment the dogs did something that left everyone completely stunned. At this point 3 little dogs ran in a straight line. The last one jumped onto the one in the middle, then leaped into the air, and the one in front also jumped up instantly. When the last one didn't fall, give the other person a platform to jump from. Then that little dog suddenly leaped toward a spot, and that spot was Wang Ergo's lower area. The little dog crashed into it with full force, causing Wang Ergo to jump up instantly. Wang Ergo was in so much pain that tears flowed from his eyes. He quickly covered his lower part. The agonized look on his face made everyone feel an imaginary pain. I'm going to get rid of you all. Wang Ergo swung his knife, but just as he raised his hand, he felt another impact from below. It was the coordinated effort of several small black dogs. It must be said, the timing of those little black dogs was incredibly precise, and they acted exactly from an angle Wang Ergo couldn't see. This time Wang Ergo suffered even more injuries. Clutching his crotch he rolled on the ground in pain. Seeing this outcome, everyone looked completely confused. Does this mean the little black dog won? Wow, this Wang Ergo is even worse than a dog. Now there's a question lingering in everyone's mind. I really mean it. Is this about mastering the skill of beast control? This time the little black one's teamwork. Without some beast control abilities, it would be impossible to pull this off. At the very least it's a skill for taming animals. At the same time the burst of power from the little black dog just now doesn't really seem like something their size would possess. This must be because of my skill enhancement. You learned the beast taming skill. Li Chang was pointing at me in shock at this moment. If this is the beast taming skill, then I'm on the rise, because a beast tamer only needs this one skill to succeed. All the other skills aren't that important, and my exceptional comprehension ability, the beast taming skill level can be raised significantly. Even if changing classes isn't possible, it's still very powerful in combat. Relying solely on the beast taming technique, I can dominate the early game as a key player, even without a second job change. As long as the leveling speed is fast, it can rival a second job B class before level 60. Not even a level 1 skill is a pre-sale ability. This is just basic dog training. Only dogs can be tamed. I shook my head. I spoke up directly. At that moment people around me started booing. Everyone was saying they had been waiting in vain. I didn't care about that at all. I went straight ahead and took the skill book from Wang Ergo's arms. I was worried Wang Ergo might go back on his word. Sure enough, as soon as Wang Ergo woke up he tried to deny it. But the book is already in my hands, and I also have the upper hand in public opinion. He is completely helpless. He just kept staring at me. That look in his eyes seemed to say that once we get out, I'll make sure to take you down. Lin Feng, my classmate, if you provoke him like this, he definitely won't let you off the hook. Why not just give it back to him? You can't use this skill book anyway, Lemon said in a somewhat timid tone. He had just made eye contact with Wang Ergo a few times. That fierce look in his eyes made him feel scared. You just can't use it for now. There's no need for you to be afraid. You're already prepared to die with us, so why be afraid of him? I replied in a rather indifferent manner. At this moment, the bus had already gotten onto the overpass. The tall walls standing in the distance came into view. These are the walls that defend against the invasion of beasts. They are also a monument to the countless warriors who gave their lives over the centuries, a tribute to the heroes who shed their blood and made ultimate sacrifices. Every time Wang Linfeng sees these walls, he feels a surge of passion and pride. Although people are still struggling to survive in the apocalypse, compared to the past, life now feels like paradise. After that, no one said a word for the rest of the journey, since everyone was feeling really nervous. This was their first time heading into the wilderness. They had to survive in the wild for 3 months. Whether they could make it out alive, it would either depend on luck, or it would rely on their skills. It was pretty clear that most people on the bus fell into the first category. Even if some thought there was an 80% chance they wouldn't die, there was still that remaining 20%. Soon the bus arrived at the foot of the wall, on a path that only allows a single bus to pass through. To go, the creatures that could enter through such a passage wouldn't be particularly large. Combined with the traps and mechanisms inside the passage, it's relatively easy to defend. After stepping outside, I saw the massive skeleton of a strange beast not far away. Its height was equivalent to a 10-story building. You can imagine how enormous it must have been when it was alive. Even at this moment, those remains still emit an eerie and unsettling aura. Do you see that? That's the Frost Dragon, a level 100 boss-level beast. It nearly wiped out Linhai City back then. Our ancestors sacrificed the lives of over 1,000 people to finally take it down. One of the ancestors from my Huangfu family had the honor of joining this battle. A few of our ancestors lost their lives in that fight. At this moment, Huangfu Tsuehua suddenly spoke up. At the same time, he was also sighing. Even though this frost dragon was already terrifying, it was nothing compared to the doomsday-level beast he foresaw. It was like a foot soldier facing off against a final boss. They were simply on completely different levels. He still had a lot of work to do. While my team was chatting over here, Wang Ergu's team was also chatting over there. The brothers agreed on this plan. We'll wait until we receive the mission. When the time comes, help me get revenge. Go and take care of Wang Linfeng. $1,000 per person. Full service club experience. I'll book it for a whole month. Brother Go is really generous. Don't worry, I've never liked Wang Linfeng anyway. Every time these past few years he's outperformed me in every test. Tiger bro, your reason is pretty straightforward. I just enjoy putting geniuses in their place. Who gave everyone this opportunity? There is only one entrance on the ground of Outpost 22. It's hidden within a mound of earth. The vegetation above it is already very dense. And the entrance is a passage built entirely with thick reinforced concrete. There are also 3 defensive doors. After passing through the 3 doors, you can take the elevator to reach the first floor, which is a large hall. The hall connects to various passageways and rooms. Inside it has a very post-apocalyptic vibe. Everything is equipped with mechanized facilities. This is the destination of the bus I took this time, while other buses head to different outposts, including other high school seniors from coastal cities. Each outpost is served by 1 bus. Since the outposts have limited capacity for people, accommodating about 30 individuals is almost the maximum. Taking in 30 people is roughly the limit. Everyone is aware of this fact, so there's no chance for me to cross paths with Wang Tang and Lu Ruyan. And it's precisely because of this, Wang Tang had no choice but to send Wang Ergu and others to make a move against me. And it's not just limited to Wang Ergu's group. I've noticed this clearly. Even without special abilities, it's something you can sense. Aside from Wang Ergu's group, there are at least 2 other groups who harbor murderous intent toward him. In total, there are 7 teams. There are now 3 groups trying to kill him, and the remaining groups could be tempted by benefits at any moment. I feel like our team is in such a tough spot. Should we inform Huangfu Tsuehua about this? The 3 of them said it's because of me that your chances of dying have increased. Forget it. To avoid scaring them, it's better not to let them know. Let's choose a task first, then take a break here for a while, and then it's time to set off. At this moment, if you have power and influence, you can ask the guards here for assistance. You could also have them arrange for escorts. If that's not an option, you could find someone to lend a hand. Take on a task near the outpost to keep yourself safer. That way it's relatively secure as well. However, my team is full of powerless and broke individuals. That's why we were assigned the most dangerous task. The task is located at the farthest point from the outpost. The nearest outpost is running low on a material called Long Night Wolf Fong. This material can only be found in the eastern mountain forests. The coordinates and requirements have already been sent to you. You all go and handle it. Once you've completed the task, You can rest at the outpost for a day. This is the task given by a Sentinel captain. It's a mission assigned to the 4 of us. This also marked the beginning of our journey as a group of 4. All 4 of us were busy checking our own systems. The task plugin on our wristbands had already listed all the details of this mission. The 4 of us had started chatting internally, mostly complaining about the Sentinel captain from earlier. And so the 4 of us left while grumbling, finally arriving at the main hall, getting ready to leave the outpost. It was at this moment they heard a voice with a mocking tone. "Oh wow, isn't this our SSS level genius? Wang Linfeng, I heard you took on the Changelang mission. That Changelang's level is all above 8. We can't defeat them, but you definitely can. Li Chang, how could you underestimate yourself like that? You just need to train until level 10. At level 10 I'm just a D rank. The extra energy bonus for killing beasts is only 10%. Reaching level 10 will take an extra 20 days. If I don't have supplies for 20 days, surviving in the wild might be a bit tough. It's not just a little tough, it's extremely difficult. Luckily we're just hunting some beasts nearby. Yeah, good thing I'm not at F rank. That rank doesn't give you any extra bonuses." Wang Ergu's team showed up. There was also another team with them. The styles of these 2 teams are very similar. They're both like those blonde-haired rebellious punks. These 8 people were laughing at my team, and they were even following the 4 of us. Some nosy person even streamed it live in a group chat. Should we place a bet on this? Wang Linfeng's team won't even make it a kilometer. That's a given. The beasts outside won't care about their level. Level 1 beasts are rarely seen. It's usually around levels 3 to 5. Their team came across a level 3 beast. It seemed really challenging for them. The 4 of us stood in the spotlight as everyone watched. We arrived just outside the outpost. At this moment many people were expecting some entertainment. They all believed the 4 of us probably wouldn't be able to secure the first kill. In their minds, the 4 of us hardly had any useful skills. It's basically like ordinary people trying to fight. Their combat strength is quite weak, there's no doubt about it, unless they find a level 1 beast. But the reality is, level 1 beasts are extremely rare. Finding a level 1 beast is almost like winning the lottery. A level 1 beast would either evolve quickly outside, or it would have already been killed by other beasts. Wang Linfeng, what should we do? Haitang sent a voice message within the team. This type of voice message doesn't require him to speak out loud. He only needs to think it and it will be spoken. It can also be turned into text. The 3 of you follow me from a distance. When encountering a beast, Haitang, you don't need to get close when attacking. Ningmong, use the thorn spell on me. Lu Xiangyun, stay behind and set up traps. I replied. Actually, he had already told the 3 of them what to do. He went up alone to confront the beast. The 3 of them just needed to stay behind. I told Huangfu Haitang not to engage in close combat, just attack from a distance when they encounter something. This is how it should be done from now on. As for Ning Meng, no need to explain. He already knows how to use the thorn spell. This is still because of his innate talent. If he learns the rejuvenation spell, that would be even better. That's great, but with his F-level talent, trying to grasp the rejuvenation spell probably won't happen until after level 5. As for Lu Xiangyun, I told him to give up using spells, just focus on mastering traps first. Get really skilled with traps before moving on. Right now when he uses spells, he's less effective than just setting a beast trap. Then there are things like landmines, they all count as traps. As for me, none of the 3 of them had any objections. They all just followed instructions and did it, because if anyone voiced opposition, then that person would be the one to make the arrangements. They completely lack the ability to do that. It was just Lemon who said one thing: are we supposed to put up a fight here? If we can't fight back, then let's calmly accept our fate. Life is full of surprises everywhere. If you don't push yourself a little, you'll never realize how amazing you are. These are the memories I hold dear. I walked steadily in one direction, and this direction wasn't meant for just anyone. Not even others had a task in this direction. This place is incredibly dangerous. The tasks assigned at the outpost are highly likely to be completed. It won't completely send people to their doom. Even for me, this task, my team still has about a 30% chance of success. Isn't that a pretty big chance? The advantage is on my side. But if I take this path, it's almost certain death. Have they abandoned us? Why follow if there's no reason? They seem determined to die. We definitely don't want to die. How about I send the drone over to check it out? We won't go there ourselves. Alright, if it's out of range, just leave them be. Wang Ergu and the others didn't follow me any further. They thought the 4 of us were just going on a suicide mission. They weren't that foolish, and sent the drone over instead. They They just wanted to see how the four of us would meet our end. I believe everyone is curious to see it. How did someone with an SSS level talent end up dying? And how did this suicide squad meet its downfall? This really serves as an excellent cautionary tale. Alright then, everyone just wants to see how pathetic I look before I die. That would definitely make them feel satisfied. But what they didn't expect was, when I stepped into the danger zone, the first beast I encountered turned out to be far from any kind of powerful creature. A level 1 beast. This level of beast is rarely seen. I didn't expect to find several of them here. It seems like they might all come from the same litter. This beast is called the forest wild dog beast. It's a very common type of beast, a canine type beast. It's actually one of the beasts people are most willing to encounter, because most canine beasts only bite with their claws. They're almost useless. It can only bite with its mouth. In the early stages, canine type beasts have the simplest attacks. They also lack agility. They are one of the easiest beasts to kill. Of course, that's assuming they are alone. Typically canines appear in groups. Maybe it's because they are aware of their weaknesses, so they rely on group coordination. Right now there's a lone canine type beast in front of us, and it's just a level 1 creature. It's like a free energy boost. Damn it, how could Wang Linfeng have such ridiculous luck? This is just too good. Wang Tang and Wang Erge silently thought to themselves, if I can just take down these few mutant beasts, I should be able to level up without any issues. After all, he's an SSS rank, with over 80% extra energy boost. Now it's too late for Wang Erge and the others to rush over and steal the kill. Even if the four of us joined forces, I'm sure we'd still struggle. Even if the waste is slow, it can still quickly take out these troops. There is still a chance, because the four of us didn't bring any drone-like reconnaissance equipment. He had no idea how many level 1 exotic beasts were nearby. Wang Erge's team started moving in my direction, and just as they were moving, the combat tactics of my team were revealed to everyone. This method of combat left everyone completely stunned. It wasn't about being amazed at how well our team worked together, nor was it about being impressed by how fast we defeated the monsters. In fact, it was quite the opposite. What really surprised them was how slow the four of us were at taking down the monsters, and how ridiculously funny our teamwork turned out to be. Everyone could see me charging ahead on my own, blocking the wild dog's attacks with my shield over and over again, and using a short sword to deal damage to the wild dogs, though it seemed like the damage I dealt wasn't very high, and I often end up getting pushed back, because my defensive skills are still pretty weak, but I think that's pretty normal. After all, starting out as someone without a profession, just being able to withstand beast attacks without getting hurt is good enough. But those three girls in the back are definitely not doing well. They are all staying at the rear, either doing ranged attacks or providing support. Some of them are even just setting traps from the back. What's going on with that? Are those three complete idiots? At this point, just go up and slash them with a sword. With regular attacks, it wouldn't even take 2 minutes to finish them off. Exactly at this moment, one of them could have used swordsmanship. Another one just cast a bramble spell, and the last one acted just like some hunters, only focusing on setting traps. But the enemies never came near, wasting time and effort for nothing. With teamwork like this, they play for 10 minutes, but Wang Linfeng ends up getting injured for no reason. Seeing this scene, the teachers and students of Linhai High School were all complaining about this. Chen Ru even went to ask Lemon and Lu Shangyun's teacher, "Haven't your students ever taken a practical combat class?" Their teachers said it shouldn't be the case. Although their students may not be very talented, their minds are perfectly fine. But in the end, they just want to distance themselves from these two students, because the four of us have always been like this, and we stayed this way until the very end. It took 15 minutes of fighting to finally take down the beast. Oh yeah, the three girls hugged each other to celebrate. This was the first beast they had ever killed. They were absolutely thrilled, and it also gave them a good boost of confidence. It turns out this beast wasn't that hard to kill. Maybe, just maybe, our team still has a chance to be saved. If all the beasts are like this, taking down a few of them will let us level up. In the early stages, getting to the next level can make a huge difference in our strength, but they have no idea that their performance is being criticized by the entire school. 4 people took 15 minutes. Are they joking with me? Even someone completely useless without any skills. It doesn't have to be this bad. Is this seriously just a level 1 canine mutant beast? Isn't this just ridiculously funny? This loser duo is truly the definition of useless. Such a great opportunity handed to them, and this is how they managed to mess it up. So weak it's honestly unbearable to watch. Wang Linfeng had the perfect start and still played this poorly. I wish I had that hand instead. Everyone seems to be both heartbroken and jealous. I really want to be myself. They just don't realize that I did this on purpose, because I need to gradually hone my defensive skills. Only by mastering defensive skills to an extraordinary level will he have a chance to slay the world-ending beasts that may appear in the future. At the same time, my teammates can't engage in close combat. If they do engage in close-range combat, they will completely ruin their potential. Their strength lies in long-range attacks and support roles, especially Huang Fu Hai Tang. He must use swordsmanship to attack. Only then will swordsmanship grow stronger and become a talent beyond the S-class level. During the 15-minute battle, although he got slightly injured, his basic defense technique has leveled up from LV1 to LV5. His extraordinary comprehension is truly impressive. And the basic defense technique, it's not necessarily about taking it head-on with my body. Blocking with a shield works too. Not to mention using a shield for defense. That itself counts as a form of defense. Take for example when the shield successfully blocks the attack, the force still transfers to his hand, causing me some minor injuries. Naturally, this helps improve my basic defense skill. Meanwhile, my basic attack skill also reached level 7, because I struck with my sword more times than I defended. It just doesn't deal much damage, but that doesn't stop the skill from leveling up. At the same time, the dog training skill is also improving. That Ba and Little Black are just standing in formation. They're not attacking, but it still counts as using the dog training skill. In the early stages, it's easy to level up these skills, especially since he has exceptional comprehension abilities. Let's keep going. I am facing 3 teammates who are in perfect condition. Moving on to the next target. At this moment, almost everyone believed my next target might be another pre-sale. It won't be found. Those few first-tier pre-sale items, even though they're very close. In this wild forest, it's extremely difficult to locate them, and because of that, at this moment Wang Ergu and his group were still sprinting, getting ready to snatch the monster. This kind of selfish and harmful act, how could they possibly pass up the chance to do it? Just need to wait another 10 minutes, I'll arrive soon, and can take down those level 1 mutant beasts. But what surprised them was, I unexpectedly got lucky again, and found the target they were just after. Level 1 mutant beast King Lin Feng. Another quick kill is on the way. The sword of Haitang is drawn. The diamond sword is soaring through the air. Lemon added a layer of thorns for me. Shu Luxianjian has started setting things up again. The trap that everyone thinks is completely useless. I keep charging forward to attack. A new round of skill upgrades. I can feel my combat ability is clearly stronger than before. Right now it's just about capturing a single exotic beast. Once I become stronger, I'm going to gather a whole group and get them to attack me all at once, so my defense skills can skyrocket. At this moment I have a question. If the defense skills become too powerful and completely nullify attacks, will the defense skills still improve? This seems like a question worth investigating. 15 minutes or just 15 minutes. It took the 4 of us to take down this monster. This is mainly because I was focused on boosting my defense. There wasn't much improvement in my attack power, so I was just taking less damage overall. The time it took to defeat the monster didn't get any shorter because of it. I even intentionally slowed down my attack speed, so the other 3 girls could deal more damage. This way they could gain a bit more energy points. Why are we watching a bunch of noobs fight monsters? Does it seem interesting? At this moment those watching the live stream no longer have much interest in continuing to watch. Our team may be weak, but for now we can at least stay alive. So what's the point of watching any further? Take my team for example. Only the moment we get killed is worth watching. The rest is not worth mentioning, especially when the pace of killing monsters feels painfully slow. That Wang Ergu also wanted to go and snatch the monster, but he ended up encountering 3 level 5 beasts on the way. He was almost beaten to death. Compared to the ridiculous luck of our team, they were just having one unlucky break after another. Even though they were really unlucky, they still managed to level up because of this. When it comes to leveling up, they are way ahead of the undead. Let's not talk about this anymore. Take a guess. Can Wang Linfeng find the next level 1 beast? The people staying to watch the livestream now are only interested in this. From the drone footage, I'm about to encounter the next level 1 beast. This kind of luck is truly enviable. Up next he even took down the 4th and 5th beasts, and then leveled up successfully. This start is just way too smooth. If this keeps up, our team might not be able to complete the mission, but surviving won't be an issue. As long as we can make it through 3 months, we'll still be able to come back, though once we return, we'll still need to continue fighting in the wilderness, or consider joining another position. The latter would mean competing with others for a spot, and that's something all four of us are unlikely to achieve. But as long as you get through the initial phase, things will get much easier later on. For those with F-level talent, the hardest part is always the beginning. It's hard to tell if this is some kind of test. Anyone below level 10 has to rely entirely on themselves. Even hunting monsters is something you have to do on your own. At most, others can clear out the dangers for you. They might save you if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, but it doesn't mean they'll help you kill monsters. As long as a beast is touched by someone above level 10, there will be no energy points gained. By the way, after reaching level 10, if someone more than 10 levels higher than you joins the battle, you still won't gain any energy points. The difference between the two lies in: one refers to being 10 levels above your own level, while the other means simply being above level 10. Since the awakening time is fixed every year, hoping to stay within level 10 in 1 year is almost impossible, and doesn't really make much sense. So those who have just awakened all have to rely on themselves to face a major life challenge. This also serves as a way to test someone's survival skills. If they can't even pass this stage, they'll only become a burden in the future, because this level is for the boys, and that's why my team has 3 girls. Everyone excitedly hugged each other. I leveled up. I actually advanced to level 2. Who would have thought we could still turn this around? Unfortunately, I didn't unlock any new skills. Don't overthink it. Do you think skills are that easy to unlock? Any talents you unlock before level 5 are all basic level. You're just an F rank, aren't you thinking too much? It's true though. Alright, let's keep going. Not sure if our luck will hold. Wang Linfeng, are we sticking to the same plan as before? Should we go up and take a few swings? Ning Mang and Lu Shangyun looked over at Wang Linfeng at this moment. They've leveled up now. Their strength has doubled. Even if you go up there, it won't make a difference. Let's just leave it at that. Of course I refused. My main goal is to work on my defense skills. Besides, their attack power might as well be non-existent. Doing this makes us look completely useless. You can still use the thorn spell. I honestly feel like I'm not useful at all. It divided everyone's energy levels. Lu Shangyun also spoke up, feeling deeply ashamed. But he seemed more afraid that I might give up because of this. His shame was noticeably less than Ningming's. No worries, don't we have Cuihua now? He's leveled up. His attack power has increased. Now all 3 of them call Huangfu hating Cuihua. The other side is quite generous. They don't mind at all. It's because they don't mind. That's why I call them that. Otherwise it would feel too distant. From now on, we still need help from this expert who can master swordsmanship. Take a short break. We are heading out to hunt a level 2 beast. I sat down cross-legged, started meditating to regulate my breathing, gradually regaining my energy and vitality. Of course, recovering energy and vitality isn't something that happens quickly, and I have this feeling, as long as I keep at it, you can turn it into a skill. It can quickly restore various conditions. You can even actually cultivate it. And right at this moment, a person suddenly showed up. You want level 2, then it's level 2. Who do you think you are? Finding a level 1 exotic beast this time was pure dumb luck. Wang Ergo has finally arrived, and along the way he had already leveled up to level 4. Clearly it was the same path I came through without any trouble, but for them it was filled with difficulties and dangers. They killed dozens of beasts that were level 5 or higher. Surprisingly, there wasn't a single one below level 5. They were all wounded. They found themselves thinking more than once. If it had been us, the 4 of us would have encountered this. There was no chance of survival. That's why they didn't encounter it. I stayed silent. I needed to meditate and recover my state. This was much more important than wasting time talking to them. In the next few minutes, only Wang Ergu and Li Chang continued provoking. When they saw me staying completely still, they were eager to rush over and start a fight. If it weren't for the drone live streaming, they would have already acted. Even without a live drone broadcast, they would still kill me. This suddenly feels like shooting yourself in the foot. But for now they don't plan to kill me right away. They still want to toy with me a little. After all, I'm way too weak, especially since I'm only at level 2 right now. An SSS level talent is nothing extraordinary after all. This is what everyone is thinking. This kind of thought makes them feel great. The way I am behaving right now makes people think he poses no threat at all. He can be killed at any moment. Since that's the case, then let's keep playing for a while. This isn't just what Wang Ergu is thinking. Wang Tang feels the same way. Let Wang Ergu slowly torment Wang Ergu. Alright, there are 2 paths ahead. Each of us will choose one. You can pick first. I stood up after a moment. The 2 paths in front of us. One goes uphill, the other leads downhill. My action left people a bit stunned. It didn't take long to figure out his intention. Was it luck or something else? The result became immediately clear. Because the first person to choose was Wang Ergu. No matter what I encounter next, it will all be after Wang Ergu's decisions. This really comes down to luck now, and this time, if I end up being just as lucky, then it can only mean Wang Ergu truly had bad luck. There's no one else to blame for that. If that's really the case, the result is still the same. That feels like an emotional blow. I chose the path going upward. Wang Ergu didn't hesitate at all, because he could assess the situation through the drone. The lower path is filled with hidden dangers. The creatures are absolutely unusual. There are no second-level beasts. Although there are no second-level beasts up there, it's more suitable for their team. He knew I chose to take the path below. It would most likely lead to trouble, and the students and teachers watching the group live stream knew this too. Some were hoping I'd run into trouble, but there were also people criticizing Wang Ergu for taking it too far. However, no matter what they said, it didn't make a difference. The four of us were already heading down the path. Lin Feng, the classmate, "Are you sure it's safe down there?" Haitang asked from the side. Since there were no outsiders, and it wasn't anything that needed to be kept secret, he spoke directly, unaware that I just wanted to ditch that Wang Ergu. Wang Linfeng responded casually. The three women showed confusion. Wang Ergu was also puzzled. At this moment, Wang Ergu was keeping an eye on me through the drone, and the current drone audio pickup is very strong. Focusing on a specific audio source, it can reach a very long distance, so everyone can hear what you're saying. What does that mean? Lemon tilted her head slightly, looking dazed and clueless. It means exactly what it says. I'm worried he might follow me. Who knows if he might have his eyes on you. You're just so adorable. You just need to choose one of the two. Let him pick a path to take first. We can take another path to avoid walking with him, so you don't have to see his disgusting face. Now everyone understands. I never intended to hurt anyone emotionally. I just wanted to get rid of someone unpleasant. After hearing what I said, Wang Ergu tried to rush over to kill me, regardless of whether the drone captured it or not. Calm down and take it easy. If he goes down there, it's a dead end for him. Let's prioritize upgrading our mission. Today we leveled up pretty fast, but we used up quite a bit of supplies. It's time to think about heading back. Chang and the teammates held onto Wang Ergu. None of them took me seriously, and they assumed I'd most likely die down there. At this moment, Wang Ergu's team immediately got caught in a fight. This time, unbelievably, there are 5 level 6 beasts appearing all at once, not to mention my team. Even they would have to pay a price, even though they are already at level 4. Their numbers and levels are still insufficient. The only advantage is that they still have some tools, throwing high explosive bombs to stop a few beast dogs first, focusing on taking down the most dangerous ones in battle. Right at the moment their fight begins, I came across a strange beast here as well, but this strange beast was all alone, and it was injured too, even though this beast was already at level 5. Its injuries made it about as strong as a level 2 beast. What kind of ridiculous luck is this? Wang Ergu is probably about to break down in the bathroom. That's right, if Wang Ergu had the time to notice right now, he would definitely pass out. And this is just the beginning. Next, my team steadily progresses step by step in clearing out monsters, even though their leveling up is quite slow. If everyone could be as steady as they are, then China would see the rise of a strong foundation. This could bring a significant shift to China's overall situation. It would allow for the expansion of more territories and access to a greater amount of resources. More resources would mean a larger population, and a larger population would translate to greater strength. But I think I'm probably the only one capable of this. But such a foundation stone really doesn't have much of an impact. Foundation stones only work effectively when there's enough of them. Even though I have good luck, my leveling up speed is just way too slow. Fewer and fewer people are paying attention. Even Wang Ergu eventually stopped paying attention. That was when Wang Ergu and the others went to complete a mission. Afterward, they retrieved the drone. This livestream came to an end as a result. Everyone thinks my team just has good luck, but there was nothing surprising about it. 1 month later, it seemed like everyone had already forgotten the 4 of us, and they had also forgotten about me, the SSS ranked jobless individual. People really do have short memories, let alone a whole month. Even in just 7 days they can forget the hottest topics, especially when there are other trending topics. Speaking of the popular events during this past month, there have actually been quite a few of them. This includes Wang Tang mastering the monk skill Thunder Punch. A single punch sends sparks and lightning flying. It's just a pity that his pure body hasn't been broken yet. A few punches could easily take down a group of beasts, and his leveling up speed would have been much faster. He was supposed to be this year's first senior student in Linhai City to reach level 10, but now that honor has been taken by someone else, and he reached level 10 more than 2 days later than others. By then there were already many who had reached level 10. He can't even make it into the top 10. Meanwhile, Lu Ruyan ranks relatively high within the top 10, but most people haven't even reached level 10 yet. A month is neither too short nor too long, but it's definitely not a long period either. Wang Ergu is currently just at level 9. He's working hard to level up. For this level he calculated it would take him 3 days to achieve. At the same time there have been quite a few accidental deaths. There are already over 50 cases. That day Wang Ergu returned from completing his mission to resupply. Then he ran into Wang Tang. Wang Tang sent him a message, asking him when he would complete the mission, asking why Wang Linfeng was still alive. At this moment Wang Ergu found it a bit hard to believe. He hadn't been able to find me for a whole month. He had almost forgotten about this matter. He believed in his heart that I should already be dead. Our team simply can't hold out here. At this moment Wang Tang told him that I was still fine. At the same time Wang Tang also instructed him to ensure that I must be sent on my way within the next month. Wang Ergu checked everyone's status, and saw that my status showed I was alive. Additionally, my score was still at 531 points. This score ranked first among the teams that were still alive, while the second to last and last scores were 1010. From this it was clear how slow my team was moving. Even though this has always been looked down upon, the 4 of us never really saw an issue with it. At least they can still survive and level up. Right now the 4 of us are slumped down back to back together. Around us lie the corpses of 5 long night wolves. One of the bodies still has 2 swords stuck in it. 8 black dogs are guarding the area nearby. These 8 little black ones have already been circling for quite a while. Their build is incredibly strong, telling others they're just over a month-old puppies. I doubt anyone would believe it, but if someone were nearby, they would notice that Huangfu Haitang and I have already reached level 8, while Ning Meng and Lu Shangyun are at level 7. This is thanks to the SSS level bonuses I have. And Huangfu Haitang has reached this because of dealing the most damage. Ning Meng leveled up to 7 2 days ago, while Lu Shangyun just advanced recently. At level 7 Ning Meng unlocked the healing skill Rejuvenation, which helps treat my wounds. Because of this I can now withstand more attacks from the beasts. But none of the 3 have any area of effect skills. Pulling more than one is just unnecessary suffering. Normally when I see fewer than 3 beasts, I would engage them all in battle. This way he ends up getting attacked one more time, which helps his defensive skills level up faster. Over the past month, my basic defense skill has already reached level 103. My defensive abilities have significantly improved. Even without a healing spell I can withstand 3 beasts. Using the rejuvenation technique, I feel like I can withstand the attacks of 5 beasts at once. This was something the 3 women didn't believe before, but now they believe it. When they saw these 5 night wolves, Lemon was so scared she froze. She thought this time she was finally going to die. Unexpectedly I managed to hold them off with ease. This completely surpasses the defensive capabilities of someone at level 8, and without any profession. Even though my movements were incredibly agile at that moment, I tried to minimize the damage as much as possible. At the same time I used my shield to block every single attack. I still shouldn't be able to withstand these 5 beasts of the same level. I even lured those 5 beasts into the trap set by Lu Shangyun to deal damage to them. Finally, after a prolonged battle, they emerged victorious. The 3 women were now slumped on the ground. It feels like surviving a disaster. The way they are looking at me now seems to have a certain glow. I'm feeling pretty thrilled at this moment too. Not because of the attention from the 3 girls, but because during the recent battle, he actually managed to unlock a new skill. What surprised me was, this skill wasn't something he could use directly, but rather swordsmanship. Wow, I actually unlocked a new skill. I froze for a moment, simply because that sentence wasn't said by him, but by Lu Shangyun, who was standing next to him. There's no way I could explain how I mastered the swordsmanship technique, because even I don't understand how it happened. How could I possibly acquire someone else's talent? Could it be that this talent is actually just the result of a skill? Even if it were a skill, How could I possibly learn someone else's skill? Could it be that my exceptional comprehension is a talent that doesn't require practice on my part, and all I need to do is watch others use it? I quickly came to understand that the heavenly eye can only see events that are predetermined, and certain variables are beyond its scope, or rather there are too many changes in these variables, which demand an immense amount of spiritual awareness, so it automatically disables tracking such changes. This is something I can understand. When he looked into the future at that time, after he chose a career, there were always several general paths available. He didn't focus on the details. Because of this, I've already spent years of accumulated mental energy, so it's better not to look at the variables. After all, even if you look, the variables still exist. In reality, the third I can only give a rough overview. The general direction is usually not wrong. The details depend on the timing. In short, the closer it is, the more accurate it will be. Of course, this might be due to insufficient skill. Maybe in the future as I grow stronger I'll see more and with greater accuracy. But for now I understand. To confirm one thing, with extraordinary comprehension all I need is to see it to grasp it. And it's not limited to what happens around me. It also includes images and written records. Everyone keeps moving forward. We keep fighting monsters. Let's try out the new skill. I got back on my feet, then went on to find another target to hunt. This is when Shang Yun mastered a new skill. Why is he so excited? Could it be that he has feelings for Shang Yun? Haitang looked at me with excitement, and directly said, "Not sure why. I feel a little uneasy inside." Haitang, what nonsense are you talking about? Why would Wang Linfeng like me? Lu Shangyun's face turned slightly red. Are you all still joking around? Hurry up and catch up. What if Linfeng grabbed a few more lemons again? At this moment it just felt like the two of them were joking around. Worried about my safety. Stay close and be ready to cast a rejuvenation spell on me at any moment. Soon I found a level 7 beast. At this point my combat style became apparent. Aside from critical points, I took the beast's attacks head on. I didn't even bother using a shield. In my own words, this is about overpowering through sheer strength. At the same time, it's also to level up my defensive skills faster. Let the rejuvenation technique of lemons level up quickly. Healing skills need to effectively restore in order to improve proficiency. Only by providing effective recovery can skill proficiency be enhanced. And I didn't hide my intention. The fact that I want to upgrade my defense skills was not concealed. After all, no one else knows his real purpose. At the same time, he always needs to choose a direction to train. Becoming the shield wall at the front line is also a possible path. Magical traps. Lu Shangyun at this moment. A magical trap was set up on the ground. The moment a beast steps in, it will trigger an explosion. This is the skill he has mastered. From now on he can deal damage even from the backline. He can lure the beasts onto the trap. And this part doesn't really come as a surprise to me, because the divine sight revealed it to me, that Lu Shangyun wants to rise above, and he must rely on mastering magical traps to do so. This magical trap can be purely made of magic. It can also involve adding magical effects to food. So Lu Shangyun still needs to further study traps, knowledge related to traps, incorporating it into his magical traps. Now Lu Shangyun understands why I asked him to read books about traps, to learn about different types of traps, and gain knowledge on various trapping techniques. And for the past month he has been using traps. At this moment he felt deeply grateful to me. Some emotions began to emerge in his heart, but not much, and as soon as I saw the trap appear, I immediately lured the beast over to blow it up. The explosion caused considerable damage. The beast's health bar instantly dropped by 10%, and it even caused the beast to produce a solid fragrance cloud. How impressive! Lemon praised from the side. It made Lu Shangyun feel a bit smug. At this moment I have an idea in my mind. I wonder if Lu Shangyun's magic trap can be mastered. Imagine leading a group of exotic beasts, and magical traps appearing one after another beneath your feet. Boom boom boom, just thinking about it is thrilling. But right now what he really cares about is sword mastery proficiency increased by 100. Sword mastery level has gone up. Sword mastery proficiency increased by 100. The swordsmanship skill level has improved. So watching others use skills can actually help increase skill proficiency. In the future, teaming up seems necessary. You can learn others' skills at the same time, and also get help to improve your own skill proficiency. At that point others' proficiency increases by 1 + 1, while yours increases by 100 + 100. Would others get upset if they found out? Just for this reason alone, learning skills from others on your own. Never hold on to these skills. Unless absolutely necessary, never use them in front of others. I am like a tank taking the hits, finishing off monsters and moving on with life. Grilling meat. I tossed aside hundreds of pounds of exotic beast meat, letting 8 black hounds feast. Under the influence of my dog training skills, these 8 black hounds won't eat unless I command them, even if they starve. They won't eat anything else, unless it's an emergency. My dog training skills have now reached level 300. It is the fastest progressing skill, far ahead of others. For one, there are many dogs, and second, this skill is the simplest and easiest. Dog training is easy to level up. The proficiency required for later levels is less than 1/10 of basic defense skills. The reason I was able to reach over level 100 so quickly was thanks to the massive 10,000% proficiency boost from my super intuition. A level 50 basic defense skill requires others to endure 10,000 attacks, but I only need to withstand 100. The effects of a level 300 dog training skill also made my dog grow exceptionally well. Its combat power is unusually fierce, and its ability to track and locate prey is extraordinary. The previous battle with the 5 mission wolves, the dog played a crucial role. It managed to hold off 2 wolves. As expected, basic meditation is the hardest to level up. It takes an hour of practice to gain just a little proficiency. Currently reaching the highest level of basic meditation, hasn't gone beyond level 50. You could say that reaching level 39 is already impressive. My mental strength has become incredibly strong. Unfortunately, I am still without a profession. Yes, this would be impressive to others. Why would someone without a job need such strong mental strength? There aren't any skills they can use anyway. That was definitely true for the old me as well. But now I've learned sword control techniques. This skill consumes mental power. With sword control techniques in hand, wouldn't it feel frustrating to see others use it while you don't? Of course it would. So at 2 a.m., I snuck out secretly, getting ready to find a beast to practice my swordsmanship. I'm fully capable of taking on a beast of the same level by myself now. There's no doubt about it. I just intentionally made the 3 women feel like I really needed them. Without them, I wouldn't be able to defeat those beasts. To keep my distance from the 3 women, I purposely went a bit farther away, arriving at a valley. It never crossed my mind. In this remote valley, he unexpectedly stumbled upon a shady deal. It almost pushed me to the brink of despair. He was in the valley controlling his sword, letting the flying sword revolve around him, when suddenly a figure descended from the sky. The figure landed and caused the ground to crack. I looked over with my eyes wide open, only to see under the moonlight a girl dressed entirely in white standing there. White clothes, white hair, and a white tail. Behind this young girl, there is actually a fluffy white tail, a half-orc hybrid mutt. Half-orcs are a result of gene technology from a certain country, combining the DNA of beasts with humans, creating creatures that are part human and part beast. The half-orc girl in front of me must have come here to meet someone like that, which makes me a bit intrigued. At the same time, he also managed to keep himself hidden. Fortunately, he had secretly practiced swordsmanship earlier. He had deliberately concealed himself. Even the dog was left outside to patrol the area, and the spot where he was staying was outside. There was absolutely no way to see it. It's a pity he hadn't learned stealth skills, otherwise the chances of being discovered would have been even lower. At this moment he had already put away his sword. He slowed his breathing, blend into this world as much as possible. Even though I lack the skills to move forward, he understands the ways of Taoism. Become one with this land and sky. Isn't this exactly what Taoists often strive to do? I can't achieve perfection, but I can manage to do part of it, and that's already enough. Before long a figure appeared. However, what caught my attention more at this moment was, the person who appeared in front of me turned out to be someone I knew. Isn't this Wang Tang's mother? I never expected him to not only have a cruel heart, but also to be a lackey for the enemy. However, very soon, the language they spoke switched to Japanese. Luckily, the wristband came with a translation feature, which translated their conversation. It turns out that Wang Tang's mother was originally Japanese. She was actually a spy sent by Japan to infiltrate China. There are many others like him. If we put it this way, Wang Tang turned out to be an illegitimate child. No wonder he's so unlikable. It turns out it's because he's an illegitimate child from Japan, and the reason they met here was to hand over an item, that item being the Frost Dragon's gene, the one from the massive creature that died outside the city. The beast's skeleton outside had genes that weren't entirely intact. It holds no value for the land of the rising sun, so they want the genes to be intact, preferably the most essential parts, and it just so happens that the royal family has it. The ancestors of the royal family were also involved in slaying the Frost Dragon. This is why within the royal family, there exists a Frost Dragon's blood crystal core. Back in the day it wasn't considered a big deal, but as of now only the royal family possesses it. At the same time no one seemed to care about this matter. It was only after recent research in Japan that the need arose. Otherwise it would have been taken away long ago. This is for you. Where is the thing I asked for? Looking at Wang Tang's mother, handed a box to the half-beast girl. The half-beast girl took the box, and gave another box in return. No one knew what was inside. Neither of them mentioned it. However, I can see it clearly with my clairvoyance. Inside is a colorless and odorless solution. It is a type of slow-acting poison. A new product from the laboratory in Wa country. Currently there is no way to trace its origin. The woman plans to poison the head of the Wang family and others, so that Wang Tang can inherit the family business. He would then take over and manage everything temporarily. I have no intention of stopping this. Saying it yourself might not make others believe it. People from the Wang family might not necessarily trust it. It could even put you in danger. Who cares about the life or death of the Wang family members? But as for the other box, now that's a different story. Once this box is taken back, it could help the Woku create powerful half-beasts. That would happen 10 years from now. Forget it, by then it'll be too late to matter. Since that's the case, you two should hurry up and leave. Don't get in the way while I practice my swordsmanship. This is exactly what I'm thinking right now, because the two of them met. It doesn't seem to affect me in any way. At most it might reveal the identity of Wang Tang's mother. We'll wait until she takes care of the rest of the Wang family first. Alright, I have something great to give you. Your son could make good use of it. At this moment the half-orc girl took out another crystal ornament. She brought out a crystal decoration. It was about 20 centimeters long. The front featured an elongated blue crystal. The back was a handle wrapped in metal. It's the key to the secret realm. The location of the secret realm is marked here. It's just a few dozen kilometers from here. This secret realm is only for levels 10 to 20. It won't be of much use for us to go in. Consider this as a small favor for you. After saying that, the half-orc girl left. The way she leapt into the air was like a wolf under the moonlit night. Its tail closely resembled that of a dog. Could it be a canine half-orc? After a short while, Wang Tang's mother also departed. At that moment I had no intention of leaving, because I knew someone was still watching nearby. I decided to meditate and blend into the surroundings. I have no idea how much time had passed. I sensed that the person had already left. He then began practicing his sword flying technique here. His proficiency was improving rapidly. The sword flying technique doesn't require attacking enemies to improve the skill. As long as you're using this technique and it involves a sword, it works. Suddenly I thought of a way to use the sword flying technique without drawing attention to myself. Just find some small swords to use sword control. Throw it without changing its trajectory. It accelerates in the middle. Wouldn't that make it impossible for anyone to notice? I have Xiao Li's flying dagger. Now I have Xiao Wang's flying sword. Using sword control techniques to slice through a few leaves in midair. When I was almost done playing, I decided to head back, but shortly after I left, a few people showed up and surrounded him. Did those two women find out? If they did, then I'm completely out of luck, because judging from their strength earlier, they're way stronger than me. But in reality that's not the case. These people have no connection to those two women from before. If there's any connection at all, it would be with Wang Tang, because the four people in front, it was Wang Ergu and his three buddies. Wang Ergu deliberately came around here. He intentionally took a detour to this spot, to see if I was nearby, because my mission was right in this area. And as it turned out, he got really lucky. He ended up finding me. When I realized he had just stumbled upon me by chance, I kind of regretted why I came out so early, especially since I hadn't practiced enough swordsmanship. What incredible luck. For you, that's unfortunate. You're about to meet your end. Let me see, you're still stuck at level 8. Ah, that's so weak. Coming out this late alone looking for trouble. Then we'll grant you your wish. Wang Ergu and the other three laughed. Since it's such a great opportunity, that's obviously to kill. I'm already feeling meaningless. Wang Tang doesn't seem to find much fun in torturing me now. Of course, if Wang Ergu decides to torture before killing, torture could also be an option. The drone will start recording, but it shouldn't be streamed live, and it must not be shared anywhere. Wang Ergu drew out his knife. The three teammates nearby also revealed their weapons one after another. This time it feels like there's no way out for me. I looked at the four people who had drawn their blades. They didn't try to surround me, nor did they show any intention of repositioning. They were simply holding their knives. I understood what that meant, because those four on the other side clearly didn't believe they could escape. In their eyes, I was just at level 8, still without a specific profession. regardless of level or profession. They are always at a disadvantage, and their talent doesn't boost damage. Pushing their basic skills to over level 100, they remain unafraid, because the bonuses from basic skills are minimal, certainly not as effective as their professional skills. This is why the lack of a profession is often looked down upon. It's too weak, but the world remains unaware of this. Any type of skill, when it reaches a certain level, will undergo a qualitative change. This level requires the ability of a genius, because an ordinary person could practice their whole life, and at most bring their skill up to level 400, while the level needed for a qualitative change is at least 600 or higher. Even elites can't reach that level. It's beyond what they can achieve. However, that's not something I'm concerned about right now. I'm pulling out my shield now, and turning to Wang Ergu. If you're a real man, let's settle this one-on-one. If you're not, then just pretend I never said anything. Those words had a clear tone of provocation, and were obviously a way to taunt. It was way too blatant. Haha, even though I know you're trying to provoke me, but even so, what does it matter? You're just someone without a job. Let me show you something. The gap between us is simply unbridgeable. Wang Ergo chuckled. He walked straight up alone. A little cleverness is still just that little. In the end, it's all about real strength. I understand what the other person is thinking. That's why I deliberately said it this way. The goal is to lure the opponent out, taking them down one by one in a one-on-one fight. Otherwise, facing 4 opponents alone would be too risky. Wang Ergo is actually a mage. Otherwise, he wouldn't be carrying a mage's skill book. He's using a blade because he doesn't have a suitable weapon. In the early stages, attacking with a blade can still deal high damage. At this moment, Wang Ergo raised a fireball in his hand. He has already mastered the fireball spell. He can cast a fireball in just 1 second. The fireball spell can also be charged before being launched. By then its power could more than double. The first move definitely needs to be a charged shot. The fireball shot out like a rocket, heading straight toward me. At this moment I blocked it with my shield. The fireball exploded right in front of me. Such destructive power. A level 7 non-class character would definitely be blown away, and lose half their health in the process. Sure enough, I was sent flying backward. I landed heavily on the ground. Then I immediately started crawling forward with difficulty. Haha, what a complete loser. I took care of it with just a fireball spell. Wang Ergo burst into laughter. Then he moved over ready to step on Wang Ergo at that moment. These 4 people never expected it. I was just pretending, because normally I should have been knocked flying. Just now Wang Ergo used a power crystal in secret to ensure a one-hit kill. He secretly used an amplification crystal. This is one of the materials dropped by alien beasts. Alien beasts convert absorbed energy from other dimensions into crystals. After absorbing energy from spacetime, the alien beasts turn it into crystallized forms. This process results in something similar to a core crystal. These core crystals have a variety of uses. One of their functions is to amplify magical attacks. The amplification just now was essentially doubling the power of Wang Ergo's charged attack. It felt like I was hit by 4 fireballs all at once. Considering my level 8 strength with no specific class, this outcome is completely reasonable under the circumstances. But just as Wang Ergo was about to step down, I suddenly made a move. The sword in my hand pierced straight and precisely toward Wang Ergo's lower body. As luck would have it, it hit that critical area. Wang Ergo suddenly remembered the fear of being dominated by Ba Xiaohai. But this time, he had no chance to feel fear anymore, because my sword pierced directly into his vulnerable spot. It went straight into his body. After all, humans are just humans. Getting hit in a vital spot would still result in death. At least early on, without strong recovery abilities, it's impossible to survive. At this moment, unless there is a powerful healer or some kind of healing item available. Otherwise, there's no way he wouldn't have died. Hurry up and save me. Wang Ergo used a healing potion on himself, but it had absolutely no effect. He placed his hopes on his 3 teammates, but it was pretty obvious. The 3 teammates didn't have what it takes, and they were also startled by the situation. They seemed a bit panicked all of a sudden. Just as they were scrambling in confusion, suddenly a few dark shadows appeared around them. They darted out quickly. Those were the dogs. They had already sneaked nearby quietly, although their stealth skills weren't particularly great. Since I had just drawn the attention, they still managed to get there smoothly. However, even though the dogs were fierce, the opponents were professionals, and their levels were all at level 9. Trying to use the dog to deal with those 3, that seems like a pipe dream. As expected, Li Chang and the other 2 left after being attacked. They realized what was happening and started to fight back. I wasn't surprised by this either. It didn't really catch me off guard, because his dog was only trained with basic obedience skills, and it hasn't yet moved beyond the natural instincts of a wild animal. Even with all 8 dogs combined, basically it can hold off one of them. Li Chang is a warrior. The damage taken is minimal. He swung the blade fiercely at one of the dogs. The dog immediately backed away, but it still got a cut from the blade. The other 2 quickly realized what was happening. The knife slashed toward them. At the same time they used some potions to heal. Then they activated their respective skills. One of them is an archer, but he moves with great agility. He can also engage in close combat with a dagger. Under his dagger, several dogs have already been slashed multiple times, but the damage isn't as high as Li Chang's. If this continues, all 8 dogs will likely end up dead. But would I really let the dogs die like this? Or maybe he planned to use the dog to grab their attention, and then make his own escape. But it was obvious this wasn't going to happen, because although Li Chang and his 2 companions were being dragged by the dog, their focus was still on me, especially with the drone aimed directly at me. There was practically no way to run away, so running wasn't part of my plan. Instead, I decided to use sword flying techniques. When the dog lunged at the archer, a sword shot out from beneath the dog. It went straight for the archer's heart. The archer never expected a sword to appear here, and just as he noticed it, he was in the middle of attacking the dog, leaving him no chance to react. The timing was executed with incredible precision. The archer was instantly pierced through the heart. Because of the angle involved, Li Chang and the remaining person didn't notice. They just found it strange. Why did the archer suddenly stop? And then, the archer collapsed. This made Li Chang and the other person stare wide-eyed, suspecting that a master nearby might have helped. They would never guess it was me, because at that moment I was standing on the other side, and I couldn't possibly have that kind of ability. Just as they were in shock, while they were looking for a master, the dog started attacking the 2 of them again. Then my sword technique secretly launched another attack. Li Chang was the last one to fall. As he fell, he was still asking, who exactly is hiding in the shadows? They never once suspected it was me, because that would have been impossible. But in the end he saw a flying sword land next to me, and it began circling around me. At that moment he never would have imagined it would involve me, because his mind couldn't keep up. Clearing the battlefield, I looted the opponent's belongings, then left with the dog. I didn't bother to bury those 4 people. I kill but don't bury. Those 4 will soon be eaten by nearby mutant beasts. Lin Feng, my classmate, where did you just go? Went to the restroom. Why do you men always take so long in the bathroom? Each of you just sits in the restroom and won't come out. But you're still the best. You can even squat outside for so long. Outpost 22 Combat Command Room. The sentry captain finished breakfast and came for the morning shift. He had just brewed a pot of tea when he noticed that the 8 teams on the screen had one more team go offline. Why is this batch of newcomers so weak? Another team has perished. 3 out of the 8 teams are already gone. Interestingly, the weakest ones have managed to survive the longest, and their mission is actually the hardest one. Yet they've somehow been able to stay alive out there, and they've been constantly fighting monsters, even though their leveling up is a bit slower. The captain is paying close attention to this team. After all, they only have these 8 teams. Now there are only 5 left. It's almost impossible not to care. He used to think my team would either meet their end out there, or they would hide and avoid coming out to fight. That way they could actually survive. But if they survived this way, they would only be able to take on dangerous jobs in the future, which would mostly involve working in the wild. What he didn't expect was, they managed to survive for an entire month, and they've been continuously hunting exotic beasts to earn points. The captain of the 8th squad has returned. What mission did they complete? Just as the captain was thinking about my team, unexpectedly the subordinates reported my situation. The 8th squad is what they call my team. If that's the case, they should be at least level 8. That's right, starting is always the hardest part. Later assign them some simple tasks. Make sure they survive. The captain understood what completing this task meant. Even in the worst case scenario, my team needs to reach level 8. Typically level 10 is the most reliable. With 2 at level 8 and 2 at level 7, their condition looks good. I didn't expect them to go without supplies, and yet they're still in such great shape. Where are they now? Should they stay at the outpost for a few days to rest? The captain inquired. Under normal circumstances, after completing a mission and returning to the outpost, you usually need a few days to recover. This is really crucial. Without supplies like medicine, it's pretty tough to survive in the wild, unless you can avoid all unexpected injuries. But very few people can actually manage that. Most of the time it's just a small accident that forces you to return. You can't go back until the mission is completed. If something unexpected really happens, then it's better to head back. Usually they won't make things difficult. They'll turn a blind eye and offer some help. However, this would count as a failed mission, and there would be penalties and a deduction of points. They left, saying they didn't have time. They needed to level up and complete tasks. It seemed like they were aiming for a good score. The captain was a bit stunned when he heard this. For their team, just surviving would be good enough. What results could they even hope for? They must be overthinking this. Forget it, this is their own business. There's no need to get involved. The captain didn't really pay attention to it either. But then someone below said something else. This time I only restocked some health and mana potions. He didn't bring any other emergency medicines at all. And those detection devices like drones, still didn't bring them along. Is this guy really just relying on sheer luck to take risks? The captain suddenly remembered some things he read online, saying I'm only taking risks because of pure luck. If his luck were just a little worse, he would be doomed with no way out. Right now it's only because he got lucky. Just wait, he's bound to run into trouble. Yes, that's exactly what many people online have said. I feel like my luck can't last forever. Just one more thing. This time I also customized 8 dog backpacks. They can all be carried on the dogs. I have to admit, when it comes to training dogs not just for combat purposes, even using them as backpacks is quite practical. I understand that when hunting beasts outside, a lot of resources end up being wasted because they can't be brought back. They just go to waste like that. The most regrettable thing about it is the exotic beast meat. That's what gets wasted the most. This ended up benefiting my dog. The meat can be eaten freely. It doesn't add any extra cost at all. And because of this, they all grew incredibly fast. In just 1 month they outgrew what other dogs achieve in several months. Their size is already comparable to an adult husky. At this point we are at Outpost 48. Wang Tang and Lu Ruyan were also paying attention, but this was just incidental, because they were taking a break, and only paid attention after hearing about it from others. That useless guy is actually still alive, and even completed the first task. As for Wang Ergu, that loser is dead. When Wang Tang heard the news, he couldn't help but feel a bit frustrated, but he quickly noticed, my level has been updated, still stuck at level 8. Luckily Ruyan, you left that loser early on. He's actually only level 8. We're already level 13. You don't need to talk to me about him. He and I are in completely different worlds now. There's no need to care about that. Don't lower yourself. Lu Ruyan spoke with a cold tone. He now felt a bit disdainful toward Wang Tang beside him, because he is just a beginner, claiming to be at level 13. He has been at level 13 for several days now. Wang Tang has just entered. If things keep going like this, the situation will continue this way. The gap between Wang Tang and him will keep growing. By then teaming up will no longer be possible. It's not that there's a mental reluctance to form a team, but rather that it's impossible to team up beyond level 10. Wang Tang understood this point as well, and he grew increasingly worried about it, until his mother shared some good news with him. He received a key to a secret realm. It was a secret realm for levels 10 to 20. He could catch up to that level on his own. Initially he was thinking of asking Lu Ruyan to go with him, but if Lu Ruyan went, how can one level up on their own? So Wang Tang decided to go by himself, but he wouldn't enter the secret realm alone. When the time comes, his mother will pick a few people to form a team with him. Those people are all under his mother's command. This will have to wait until the wilderness survival event is over. Even though it's been just over a month and he's already at level 13, reaching level 20 is practically impossible. Finishing within the remaining month or so. Now it takes 7 to 8 days just to level up once, and it will take even longer as it progresses. It's estimated that after 3 months of outdoor training, he'll probably be at level 18 at most. By then it'll be the perfect time to enter the dungeon for levels 10 to 20. Once the training ends, there will still be a month left for rest and recovery, before taking part in the next round of the high-level trial exams. This 1-month period, it is intended for those who have been hurt, to ensure everyone gets the best experience. That's why he can take advantage of this month to explore the secret realm. His strength will undoubtedly amaze everyone. He will prove wrong all those who look down on him, and leave those who mocked him utterly shocked. As for Lu Ruyan, he will make him kneel and look up to him. Just thinking about it fills him with satisfaction. Wang Tang, what are you thinking about? You're even drooling. Nothing, I was thinking about Wang Linfeng. The people nearby suddenly gasped. all the guys started keeping a certain distance from Wang Tung. Don't overthink it. I was just wondering with that loser's leveling speed, how much progress he can make in the remaining days. How far can he level up? Do you even need to ask? At most level 15. Isn't this the speed they're going at? At most level 13. What if you said, I'm just saying what if Wang Linfeng makes it to the end, would he really keep pursuing the college entrance exam? Over a month has passed again. Now there's only half a month left. At this moment everyone is calculating scores and casualties. This time the senior students of Linhai City. There are 8,000 people training outside. Apart from Linhai High School, there are also quite a few other high schools. Actually, today's senior students are basically equivalent to the birth population back then. There are hardly any gaps in between. After all, before awakening, everyone could potentially be an SSS level treasure. Back to the main topic. Currently there are 8,000 people. More than 2,000 people have already had accidents. This is a brutal elimination process. But generally speaking, as long as you've worked hard enough over the past 12 years, and as long as you're not too foolish, you won't get eliminated. Some people just live too comfortably. In peaceful times that's acceptable, but in times like these, their existence is not just a waste of resources, it also affects the survival of others. They might even hold others back, dragging others down with them. There were once several cities in China that were destroyed because of such reasons. Now they have become havens for strange beasts, and resemble the storylines of those half-beast creatures in Japan. One of the iron rules of chaos is to destroy sacred items first. The emergence of some harsh rules. It must have been a hard lesson learned. You see, I was the one left standing in the end. That team just leveled up recently. Shockingly, the lowest level is still at 11. It seems even saying level 13 before was an overestimate. They are just about a month behind the median. Other F-level teams at least reached level 13. Everyone is noticing the performance of my team. The lowest score corresponds to the lowest rank. However, everyone finds it quite odd. It feels like my team's leveling up is way too slow, unbelievably slow. Look at Lu Ruyan, she's already at level 17. In just 2 months there's already a 6-level gap and it'll only grow wider. The difference is going to get bigger and bigger. You're talking as if Lu Ruyan is so amazing. She hasn't even made it into the top 10 yet. The strongest one is still Donghai Hai's Dugufeng. The Astir assassin talent is already at level 18. In half a month they'll probably hit level 19. It's a pity that breaking through level 20 isn't possible. The highest record is reaching level 20 in 3 months. Don't underestimate the gap of just one level. This one level at F rank takes 3 months to achieve. Even S rank requires more than a month. Only those at SSS rank have any hope. There's no way he can do it. While everyone was discussing these things, I was quickly forgotten by everyone. After all, nobody pays attention to someone useless. When you watch the game, do you actually pay attention to the last place? Another 7 days have passed. There are just over 7 days left. Have you noticed that my team's score hasn't really moved these days? Could it be that they've completely given up and are just waiting for the event to end? Or are they still genuinely trying? 7 days ago I took a screenshot of their score. It was 1,661 points, still sitting at 1,685 points. In these 7 days they've only managed to take down a few jade hands. If I were in their shoes I would probably give up too. After all, they've completed a few trial missions. They're already qualified now. They can stay nearby, slowly grinding levels by hunting monsters. They'll gradually improve over time. They can live out their humble lives like this. Truly a coward who's terrified of dying. No wonder someone with an SSS level talent chose to remain jobless back then. Then there was another round of criticism directed at me. Looking at the choice of words above, I can't help but admire the netizens. Their way of speaking is both articulate and pleasant. 3 more days have passed since then. There are now less than 5 days remaining. At this point the outcome is pretty much decided. Many people have already returned to the outpost to rest at this time, especially those who see little chance of advancing further, and those whose rankings are already at the bottom, already decided to give up. Anyway, I can level up later. No rush. Everyone thinks my team should come back as well. After all, they gave up a long time ago. But the outcome was completely unexpected. To everyone's surprise, Wang Linfeng and the other 3 never returned. At this moment the captain of Outpost 22, Team 7 has returned. You all should take good care of them. Those kids really have it tough. After finishing the sentence, the captain went back to focusing on his work. The 8 teams over here, except for the 3 that died earlier, there haven't been many incidents after that. The hardest part is always at the beginning, though there were still accidents later on, but it wasn't like an entire team got wiped out. it was just 1 or 2 people. It's like they just got back. Then something unexpected happened in the middle. But the unexpected event wasn't death. They were injured and brought back. Luckily, it wasn't a lifelong injury. They can recover from it. On this day, the 22nd Outpost saw 4 teams returning one after another. The next day, the remaining 2 teams also made it back. Now only the 8th team is left. It's strange why the 8th team still hasn't returned. The captain was feeling quite puzzled at this moment. Newcomers can rest here for 3 days after completing their task. Afterwards, there is only 1 day left until the end of the training. According to the rules, there are 3 days left before it ends. If you're at the outpost, there's no need to go back out again. Which means, on the 6th to last day, you can simply stay at the outpost. I originally thought the 8th team would be the first to return. I didn't expect them to be the last. But does staying outside even make sense for them? Their points haven't increased much at all. They must be surviving out there somehow. The captain muttered to himself. Then he shook his head and went back to work, ignoring those matters. Right now, many shared the captain's doubts. No one could figure out why I hadn't returned to the outpost yet. But there was one thing they were sure about, and that was the points my team had earned. Right now it's still under 1700. We were thinking earlier whether he might join the next round of the college entrance trials. Now the question is whether it's possible. That's right, last year's cutoff was at 3000 points. This year's results aren't much different from last year's. It should also be around 3000 points. So that means they need to earn 1300 points in 3 days. If they were capable of that, they wouldn't still be under 1700 points now. That's right, my team's points are not enough to qualify for the next round of trials. And at this moment, what am I doing? I'm currently being attacked by a swarm of ant-like beasts. The sheer number of them is enough to make anyone's skin crawl. However, neither I nor the 3 girls, including Huangfu Haitang, seemed phased at all. We are working together with ease and precision. I'm taking on the beasts head-on. Huangfu Haitang launched a sword attack. Ning Meng used Thorn Spell and Rejuvenation Spell. Lu Shangyun set up a series of traps. Classmate Lin Feng. Only 3 days left. Are we still here fighting these ants? Although these ants are numerous, their levels are quite low. Our points haven't increased much. The energy value isn't high either. Defeating beasts that are lower level than you, the points you earn will decrease. This is why our team has barely made any progress with points. It's not that they aren't defeating monsters, it's because the monsters' levels are too low. Yeah, we've been here hunting for 20 days now. Maybe it's time for us to move on. But our skills are leveling up really fast this way, and there's hardly any danger involved. Isn't this way better? We're not planning to take the college entrance exam anyway. There's no need to rush to level up. Lemon continues to stay laid back as always. I feel like this is already great. What he said is actually the main point. I'm just working on improving my skills. For him, level doesn't really matter. If you want defensive skills to improve quickly, you need to target these low-level beasts. This was something he had planned beforehand. It's just that before everyone was at level 1. Where would the lower levels come from? Keep grinding a little longer. Just wait, bro, will help you level up soon, I casually replied. This place is a prime spot for farming skills. No matter what, we've got to keep farming for a day. But there's no need to leave this place. When the time comes, we'll flood the ant nest. Those advanced soldier ants and bear ants might even show up in the future. Combined with some of his earlier arrangements, the points are about to skyrocket. Let's not worry about that for now. How about taking a look at skill improvements? Basic defense proficiency increased by 100. Basic swordsmanship proficiency increased by 100. Sword mastery proficiency increased by 100. From my perspective, notifications about skill proficiency increases kept popping up. The basic defense technique level increased to its current level of 500. Activated the super comprehension talent. Learned a new skill called basic body training technique. A day later, I was ready to finish grinding skills at the very last moment. That was also the moment when the basic defense technique reached level 500, suddenly learned a new skill named basic body training technique. It wasn't just about blocking damage. Reduce damage. At the same time, transform the damage into a force that strengthens the body. Enhance physical fitness. This skill didn't catch me off guard, even though he wished for such a skill too. Having read cultivation novels, and being familiar with Taoist breathing techniques, of course I've imagined more than once about having such a skill. I just never thought it would actually appear. I suddenly had a bold guess. What if you imagined a certain skill? That skill might develop in a specific direction.